Greetings.
First thing I want to say is welcome to everybody wherever you are. I understand we're crossing about 10, 15 time zones, equally as almost as many countries. And before I even begin, I just want to say thank you to the whole staff. Some of you are sitting at home in the comfort of in front of your own computer screens, but to let you know that there's a crew over here that has been working night and day to make this happen. And to my knowledge, all of you are to be commended if you're watching this, that this is truly history in the making. As a result of what's going on tonight, I'm honored to be here because this represents a fundamental shift in the way we learn, the way we look at business, and how all of our jobs are going to materialize. So if you're sitting next to somebody, there's somebody in your living room or somebody at your desk, turn to them right now. Those of you that know me have to humor me on this. Turn to somebody, give them a high five, tell them you're awesome. Okay, thank you. Kind of hard to do this with nobody to respond to. So thank you all for being here. Like I said, this is going to this revolutionizes the way we look at business, the way we look at everything. But one thing, and the reason that I'm here tonight, to talk to you a little bit about one skill that regardless of whether we're in the e-commerce world, whether we're in the industrial age, information age, is one skill that everybody here must master, and that's that of sales. Now, some of you that have known me, there's some friends of mine in Perth, Australia, probably going, what in the heck is this guy doing? He talks about teams. He talks about leadership. Why are we dealing with sales, and of all things, sales dogs? Well, the reason for it is this, is that in my career, as I have spent the last 15 years working with corporations all over the world, it never ceases to amaze me that most any transaction, any successful transaction, is conducted by somebody that is successful in sales. Now, let me explain a little bit further. Years ago, I went to work for a company by the name of the Burroughs Corporation. They're now called Unisys. The reason I did that is because I figured that in my business career, the best thing that I could do for myself is train myself. Just recently written a book on the subject that's going to be released within the month. It's called Sales Dogs. When it says Sales Dogs, why that dog will hunt / sell, and why some cannot. Now, why did I write the book? I wrote the book because, in fact, anybody can sell. You don't have to be an attack dog to be able to sell. And the reason I took this on is because through dealing with hundreds of thousands of people over the years, in terms of team building, leadership, motivation, all of that stuff, everybody would walk away from the seminars going, yeah, that's great, I'm inspired. But then they'd walk away and not do anything about it. Why? Because teams are hard to build. Leadership takes a lot of effort and responsibility. It's not for everyone. But the same lessons apply. The reason I did this is the very same lessons apply when you sell. The difference is, of all the skills that you can master in the world, sales is the only skill that will put cash immediately in your pocket. Now, I know nobody out there is interested in cash in your pocket, correct? Wrong. Everybody should be, and everybody can be. The truth of it is what this book dispels is the fact that there's a certain stereotype that you have to be in order to be able to sell. And I'm going to get into that in a second. But there's two reasons why anybody can sell. Number one is that if you're trained properly. The reason we use dogs is if training salespeople is the same as actually training dogs. Now, those of you that have dogs out there, look at that whimpering canine sitting in the corner and just go up to them, pat them on the head, tell them you love them, because, in fact, from now on, for the rest of your career, that dog is going to teach you more about how to make money than anybody else ever will. Let me explain. That dog, first of all, I wish I would have owned a dog before I was a sales manager, number one. Second of all, I'm the proud father of a beautiful 4.5-year-old son. I also wish I'd have had a dog to train before I had my son. Why? Because they're trained the same way. The reason some dogs, and so what I say is that sales dogs, a true blue salesperson is a sales dog. Think about it. A dog will come up to you, drop a stick at your foot 101 times, take every rejection in the world, and still drop the stick at your foot, hoping that you'll throw it for them. Now, let me just get into it since I don't have a lot of time. There are 5 types of salespeople. Those of you who are sales managers out there, directors, please understand this. Rule number 1, if you want to have a great sales team that sells hot and sells a lot of money, sells for a lot of cash, you've got to know their strengths. The premise of this book is to understand how to play to your strength and have it put cash in your pocket. How do you do that? First of all, you got to understand what kind of dog you are. First of all, let me just read to you one little piece out of here. We'll find out if you're even qualified to be a sales dog to begin with. First of all, answer a couple of these questions. Do you have a natural persistent streak in you? Okay. If John Butler's out there, he said yes. Okay. Do you have a tendency to try to convince other people of your point of view? Okay, good. Thank you. You find that when you're talking in a group of people, that something about something that you're interested in, that your voice gets louder and you naturally get more dramatic. Now, if you didn't say yes to this, 95% of you are lying, because most of you all do that. And do you love to win? If you answer yes to any of those, you're a true blue sales dog. You can make a ton of cash understanding your strength. Now, here's how we begin. First of all, there are 5 types of salespeople. Sales managers, listen to this, because if you don't understand the type of sales dog you have, if you're trying to mold them to the kind of dog you are, you'll never be successful. Dog number 1, the stereotype, everybody's favorite, the pit bull. That's right. Some of you out there are pit bulls. All you need is a cuff, a sleeve, something to grab onto. It's like you grab onto it and just tear to pieces, right? You know the kind. All you need to do is throw them some raw meat, and they'll destroy everything in their path. That is the stereotype of most salespeople, the pit bull. However, the truth of it is very few of us are the pit bull. Very few of us are attack dogs and just love to go after the hunt. More likely, you might be a poodle. The poodle looks good, very sophisticated, very elegant, and would never even consider getting their paws dirty over chasing some stupid stick into a river or into the mud. Some of you are poodles, definitely looking good and making sure that you always portray the best image out there. You are the marketing gurus. The pit bull is the attack dog, the confrontation expert. Who else? What other dogs do we have? Well, we have the golden retriever. You know, I have a friend in Denver who's a real estate salesperson, very, very successful. She is a golden retriever to the end. All she wants to do is to serve the client. She sits by the phone like a golden retriever, waiting for the phone to ring, doing anything that the customer wants. Customer asks for something, sure, what can I do for you? Can I do anything? Is there anything else I can do for you? They will come back and back and back and back again, trying to serve the customer in such a way until the customer is left with no other choice but to say yes to them. Worse yet, when my friend Jamie looks at me with those big brown eyes, those big brown droopy eyes, and she says, isn't there anything I can do for you? Your heart just melts. They're a bundle of love, and all they want to do is to serve the client. Those are 3 of our dogs. The pit bull, the poodle, the golden retriever. Now, a rare commodity, but then again, automatically a good sales dog is the Chihuahua. You know, I'm not one to cuddle up to Chihuahuas. They're not real kind, cuddly and friendly types of dogs, but they're those little dogs, and they yip and they yap, and their eyes are bugged out of their head. These are the dogs that will talk your head up. As a matter of fact, if you don't get them to shut up soon, they give you a headache in the process. These are the techno wizards. Anytime you look at a Chihuahua, their eyes are probably bugged out of their head because they've been on the internet all night, drinking coffee, Coca-Cola, and have so much caffeine in their bodies that they can't stop talking. They're the experts and the gurus of product knowledge, critical on a sales team. Last but not least, I think I've gotten through 4 of them, is that correct? Last but not least is the Basset Hound. The old faithful Basset Hound with those big puppy dog eyes that look into your face and look at you with those droopy eyes and say, please buy from me. Some of you are out there. Their favorite word is please. As a matter of fact, if you don't buy from them, these are the ones that probably pull up pictures of their family, show you their kids, all of the bills that they've got to pay, and probably their strongest suit and the reason they sell so much is they're great beggars. Now, obviously I've poked some fun, but right now some of you have already identified with one of those breeds of dogs. The question is, which one are you? Or which combination of dogs are you? The reason I say this is because if you're going to go into sales, and this is true for the old dogs and for the new dogs, you pick a company not based upon the compensation. Please hear me on this. When I chose Burroughs years ago, I told you that I chose that company because they had one of the best training programs. They probably had the worst commission program, but they had one of the best training programs. The reason you pick a company based upon what you're going to learn, not on the compensation. Then what you do is take on a mentor, somebody within that organization, a sales manager, a director that is not your type of dog. Look, if you're the poodle, you need to learn some skills from the basset hound on how to build personal rapport. If you're the chihuahua, you got to learn how to shut up when you need to shut up and be able to market like the poodle. See, if you do what you've always done, you've heard the expression, you get what you always get. In sales, the key is to understand your strength and balance it with the mentorship of something else. That's why I like network marketing as a great place to learn to sell, because in fact the nature of the system brings you in. The nature of the way the system brings you in is that people have a vested interest in getting you to learn and you get lots of personal coaching, lots of good training. So whether you're in real estate, whether you're in insurance, whether you're in corporate sales, whether you're in office products or network marketing, doesn't make any difference. Pick the company that's going to train you the best, and then make a commitment to be there 3 to 5 years. Why? Because it takes that long to be able to develop the skills that you need to develop. I'm having a question. There are many subscribers trying to sell each other on the discussion right now. What kind of dogs are they? Well, it depends what they're trying to sell. Are they trying to sell each other on the value of the program? Then you're probably a Chihuahua. If you're trying to sell to people on the value of this program just in order to say that you won and you got your point of view across, you're probably a pit bull. If you're telling people that you want to sign up for this program because you'll look good, you're obviously a poodle. And of course, if you're the retriever, you're probably saying, this is probably going to serve you so well into the future. It will give you so many benefits. It will serve your family. It will serve your business. That's the retriever side of it. So you have to pick for yourself which kind you are. As a matter of fact, what's interesting is that as I've interviewed great salespeople all over the world, probably the most devastating of all breeds is not the pure breed at all. It's the crossbreed, the mutt, I call them. And probably the most devastating of all is the female pit bull in poodle clothing. Yeah, you know the one. They look good. They charm you. They build great rapport with you. Meantime, you have no idea if they're taking your leg off in the process. That's the pit bull in poodle clothing. And many of you know who you are. Now, why do we do this? In the book, what I've attempted to do is to make this what I call dog doo-doo simple. You know, there's been a lot of books written on sales. There have been lots of seminars. This is a seminar in a book. And what it's designed to do is to give you insights to the 5 basic critical skills to being a great salesperson. It also gives you the 4 critical mindsets. In other words, how do you handle adversity when it hits you in the face? How do you handle a win when it hits you in the face? What do you do when you're approaching somebody and you have a question in your own mind? All these things are answered. In the time allotted, I don't have a lot of time to get into it with you here. But my point here is that training or teaching yourself and learning is the key to is the reason great dogs can hunt. Now, let me give you a couple other examples. One of the things that we found is probably one of the _1 fears of most salespeople is handling objections and rejections. The reason I got into sales is because I figured if I can handle rejections, if I can handle objections, I can handle anything. How about those that tell them not to sell? How about those that tell them not to sell? Oh, okay. Oh, so yeah. I'll get back. Sorry about that. I'm going to get to that in a second. There was a question that just came up. What about people that say, don't sell? Well, most of those people, the only person that would say go out and sell hard would probably be a pit bull. The people that say don't sell are going to probably be people like the retrievers or people like the poodles. They don't want to be seen to getting dirty. They want to be seen as servicing the customer. As a matter of fact, one of the things we talk about in the book is the fact that in order to be successful in sales, at some level, you've got to pick up the skills from all the breeds. In other words, you got to have the marketing skill of the poodle. I don't care how, if you're a basset hound and you're good at building personal rapport and building integrity and all that industrial age stuff, I mean, it's cool, it's good, but you will never compete with a poodle that's getting 10,000 hits on their website every week. That's good marketing. So you've got to be able to balance both of those, or actually all 5 of the skills. The other thing is that what the retriever knows, is that most sales come from existing clients. In other words, if you continue to service the client, you can upsell, cross-sell, get referrals, all of those things from your existing clients. The problem with the pit bull keeps running out there after new territory and burning the bridges behind them. By the way, some of you are thinking, well, I'm not really a pit bull. I'm not really even a poodle. I think I'm more of a German Shepherd or a Doberman. No, if you are, then you might want to change that. The problem is those are attack dogs. As a matter of fact, I find that most customer service organizations put attack dogs in charge of customer service, which is completely wrong. You call up and try to get something handled, you have a customer service problem, and all you get is growling at the other end of the phone, intimidated to heck, you hang up the telephone. No. The idea here is that